Welcome in or welcome back to all of you who were on the earlier calls, and for those of you just joining us now, sorry for the delay in getting started, but having a wonderful conversation in the last call talking about a new the plans for an upcoming AI summit, which we can pick up and finish as we get started here, but we'll get right into the use cases. So while we're still waiting for Mark to join, I will unmute everyone and also remind everyone to use the question box if they need to, if they have any questions that they'd rather use the question box for. But in the meantime, I will unmute and love to get any feedback that you have on the concept of the summit and the agenda that Mark put up quickly, if it's something that you think you would enjoy.
The summit?
We're looking at the first week of February. I don't have an exact date, I believe, though I think it's the potentially, it depends if it's a 1.5, or a 2-day, which I think it's going to be a 1.5 based on the outline and the way we could tighten it. But the 5th and the 6th is what we're looking at. So.
What's that, Jeff?
I was just picking up the conversation with the group that was on the last call that got to see the agenda that you put up, and maybe we can share that again and just get some, I know you're looking for some feedback on that and some verification if that's on target. And there was a question about the dates, and I believe we were targeting the 5th and the 6th of February, not locked, but that's the target to it. Thursday, Friday, be done midday so people can get out and back for the weekend. Yeah. So I think, yeah, well, probably while Mark had outlined it as a 1 to 2 day program, I think the where we left the conversation was 1.5 was going to be the optimal duration. But again, we'd love your feedback and any thoughts on the content, the topics, the structure of it before we lock it in.
Yeah, love the idea. Was there, just out of curiosity, was there a reason for the end of the week versus beginning of the week?
No,
part of the availability of the Nico, who Mark mentioned, who's been an advisor and a true thought leader in this. So Mark, you may have some. If we have flexibility, we could potentially.
Yeah, I think number one is wanting to get the feedback from everybody. There are always going to be restraints based on schedule. Nico is probably one. I mean, I consider him eminent in terms of AI leadership, commercial real estate globally, and for him to grace us with wanting to fly in, and I think that's what set the initial dates. But I think there might be some flexibility earlier on in the week, just not later on, because I believe there's a possible baby due not long after that he's trying to manage around.
Yeah.
So I
kind
think
of important.
Just being able to bring one of the somebody who's that highly regarded globally in AI and seeing the work that he's doing. Yeah, we did try to work a bit around the window of when he could be here in the US and participate with everyone. Just listening to him and watching what he's doing, I sit and just freaking awe. And Jeff Fisher and I've been playing with this since 2017, and he's one of the guys that makes me feel like a rookie. He's just really good with the analytics that he's doing. And
he knows more about it than anybody I've ever known.
Yeah. And so we're just very blessed to have him as part of the leadership framework of what we're doing here.
Good.
So, but the agenda wise, I guess I should share my screen again, Jeff.
Yeah, it was just a selfish question.
Yeah, well, I think it's all about communication. Jeff, did I exaggerate at all about last night and kind of the cycle?
That was exactly what happened. Yeah, we talked about it, prompted it, and came up with it's an outstanding agenda, looks to me.
And
Powerful.
so again, the agenda, if you think about the major objectives that I framed for it, the who, and to the degree that you get to be in an environment where all the collateral participants in the cycle of life are able to be in that dialogue, that lab session, how can you make it easier and better for each of you to do business with each other? That's why you see that kind of that 360 going on here. And then outcome, the ability to leave with a working, again, Jeff and I were kind of talking through it. I said, that journey from hearing somebody talk about it to maybe it's like piano playing, you hit a key and you hear a sound come out of it, to being able to play a symphony. A lot of times it's just having that coach on the side who's got one mission, helping you get to your destination, not insulting, not breaking anything, sitting there and saying, here's how you can be playing nice concertos by the time you leave 24 hours from now or 48 hours from now, because it can happen that quick where your gains by putting your hands on it. You can watch me type all day long. You can hear me talk to the computer, but getting through your first cycles of doing it, and we were reflecting on Jeff's journey on that process and how quickly it can unfold, mature. And then with the work that we're also doing to continue to advance, the CRE Marketing Hub is the beginning of the journey, not the end. We are going in and we're throwing another level of training at this. Again, we got over 500 years of experience sitting in our partnership of the bonus group. It's going to be a long time before someone can catch that concentration being trained into these engines. And so, but how do we unlock that for you? So here's the agenda. If Jeff, I don't know if you could do a quick poll. Easy way to just capture, is everyone in favor? Again, we're going to limit it. We're going to stop at between 100 and 150. Is the time, is the objective, is this directionally the right thing for us to advance? Be real happy to get your feedback.
So why don't we just
All
do a
right,
rate?
Jeff,
The poll takes a
fill
minute.
out a poll if you can do that,
Yeah,
or if we
got
have,
to do
I
that
saw
in
somebody
advance.
just popped a question too.
So if you just want to chime in with anything into the question, the chat box about the concept, timing, duration, that would be.
Jeff, Finn, are you still on the call?
I am speaking. If you can't hear me, I apologize.
I hear
Okay,
Jeff.
I think it was Kate. Kate, yeah, we have been rapidly advancing toward the idea of putting in an on-premise, on-site conference, workshop lab here in Houston, first week of February. We have worked on putting an agenda together. We've been organizing speakers together for it, which has been advancing, and time for us to professionalize and circulate. And we're trying to put together our invite list. It's going to be, of course, anyone that's part of CRE Marketing Hub is going to get first seat at the table. We're trying to figure out the right pricing, working out with the hotels to get a very managed turnkey package for those to participate. And Jeff will be, I think we have a meeting Monday, Tuesday, where hopefully we can harden this, and hopefully based on some of the feedback from all of you on whether to go or no go with this, we'll probably package and send out, start sending out the information to invited members as early as Wednesday of next week, and then following aggressively thereafter. So hopefully that's helpful. And I want to come back here and let's get into the use cases. Okay, just time for me, beginning of the week, much better is later. A use case, reposition a listing I have located, it's vacant. Need to adjust price and determine highest price. Okay, April, we're going to take a swing of the bat on this. And again, feel free to follow along as you see me go through this. And Jeff caught me earlier not following my stage setting. So on the top, you have the ability to pick the type of model that you are running. And I use 5.2, 4.0, it's going to be fine. The free version does have limitations. Most people I know are running the $20 version. They have full instant response thinking. I have pro version. Y'all don't need that. I guarantee you. I have been working across the bow, but y'all aren't doing full development and don't need to be paying $200 a month. You're going to do fine with the plus version. So we're set there. And let's just put her query in. So use case, reposition the listing located here, vacant land for sale, need to adjust price and determine highest and best use. I'm going to generate a property analysis comp report with normalization, valuation analysis, and marketing report, period. Generate a list of prospects, ideal prospects, rank them and prioritize them. Explain why they are the best, period. As it's running, you see where that was scrolling through the sources. We've uploaded one of the most exhaustive libraries of CRE and property specific information sources into the platform to find things that you just wouldn't ordinarily have right at your fingertips.
It reads them a lot faster than I could.
And let me further, you can see it unfolding right here. Confirming C1 zoning details. I hope that's helping you kind of see what's behind what's happening.
That's definitely helpful.
The prompts are everything, so having your prompts already preloaded certainly helps a lot.
Well, this is running. I see a number of people that came over from the last session. What I never got to do is, where's Michelle Leonard? Is she not on here? So some of you saw that I ran the analysis on the market for them. Yeah, right here. So we did the Houston market analysis and report. This is the report that came off of that. Close that. So generated CRE market trend report for Houston, MSA for 2026, included 2025, 2026 comparative, includes sources of info, focus on industrial. This is the narrative component that came off of that could plug and play into your own branded piece for distribution. I asked it then to generate a branded one pager plus charts and talking points. And it produced that into a download one page PDF, which became this. And so, yeah, it is a challenge every day to maintain your impression. You can't talk to everybody first person, but you can keep your brand in front of a client, whether it's on the for sale side, whether it's on the leasing side, tenant side. A lot of times it's just keeping the visualization, the impressions in contact. And they say it takes on average 16 to start to build recognition. It tapers to 6 to 12 weeks for subsequent touch points to maintain that going forward. Market updates are a great way if you're doing tenant work. It's a great way to stay in front of prospective tenants and inform them of what's going on in the market. So just wanted to close the loop on that. This one is still running. So April, you gave me a humdinger to this was April who said this to me, right? Yeah.
Hey, Mark, can you hear me?
April, if you could unmute, let's talk just for a second, a little bit about this property. Okay. I just sent you an unmute request. April?
April is available, but she may be away, Mark. I don't know. Or maybe she can't speak because that's why she uses the chat.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can Jeff Fisher, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mark. Let me. You can't hear me, so that's not working. I'm gonna try to reach Mark separately here.
Okay, I hear you now. I couldn't hear you at one point. I hope you can hear me.
You're
Mark,
loud and clear, April.
We,
okay.
I
Mark, can you
must
hear me?
Mark, I
Let
think
me
that's-
just call Mark just a second. So he's having some audio issue apparently.
I was as well.
So hold on. Yep, you're,
Sarah. Hello, Jeff. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Nope. Yes, we can hear you.
I hear you.
Oh, I can't hear you is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeff Fisher, if you would speak again, and maybe Mark, see if Mark can hear on the other line.
Mhm.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Ah.
can hear you.
Good. You weren't hearing any of us for a while there.
Okay. Jeff?
You're back. We're back, I think,
Jeff
with you,
Fisher?
right? Mark,
That's odd. You can hear me, Mark, but not Jeff?
he could have been hearing you through my phone. I don't know if that's,
Ah,
I'm wondering, guys, if he was having the same problem as myself. I had to go and toggle, to the right of the screen where we have the arrow. I had to look at that and then click just beneath the speaker or the microphone, and I had to adjust what speaker was being utilized.
I've had to do that too.
Yes.
I'll reach out to him, see if that helps.
Okay.
It looks like he disconnected and is trying to get back in, so we'll see if he can come back in with everything cleared.
Okay.
Appreciate everyone can get a few minute break here while we transition. I apologize for the audio. This has been fairly bulletproof in the past. Not sure why we're having this challenge.
Can you hear me, Jeff?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. April said she was having a little bit of a challenge with the audio as well and was able to get it to work. So she's live. You're live. We're back in. Excellent.
Excellent.
Mine's working well.
Let me see, monitor one. Okay, and what does everybody see, Jeff? Oh, shit.
You're
Okay.
back in the CRE mentor now.
All right. So, April, that was mean. You gave me a whopper of analysis, huh? Okay. So the use case, reposition a listing I have located at here, need to adjust price and determine highest and best use. Generated property analysis, comp report with normalization, valuation, and now, okay. Does this look like the right area?
It is.
Okay,
First picture is the location, and the
Okay.
others are corner shots. Mhm.
okay. Property snapshot, what we can verify fast, location, corner vira, Pittsburgh, zoning. what it typically means. Highest and best use. Standard 4, legally, physically, financially, maximally. Legally permissible neighborhood commercial pad. Small mixed use, ground floor retail, say food retail. Physically possible, corner lot with visibility and access sizes either 10,000 or 15,000 square feet, depending on which source is right. Either way, it's infill scale. See, financially feasible. Area is riding real momentum, Pittsburgh Yards, Atlanta Beltline 456 University Avenue. Lee and White continues. Maximally productive, highest and best use. A Beltline oriented neighborhood commercial pad, small mixed use node. Think 2,000 to 6,000 square feet of retail space with patio activation, or two-story mixed use concept if allowed. Designed to serve Beltline users, Pittsburgh users, programming, and daily commuter traffic. Why? The parcel's edge, corner exposure, Beltline agency creates the strongest value premium for consumer facing. How's it doing so far before I keep going? On target?
It is on target. I'm liking what I see.
Comparable set with normalization. Because this is an infill land play tied to redevelopment, I'm using a mix of land only development sites and B, redevelopment sites, improved corner parcels as bookends. Comp 1, 451 Stevens. Comp 2, Comp 3, Comp 4, Comp 5, and here's the normalization logic. Key value drivers for your parcel versus comps. Quarter C1, normalized dollar per square foot indication, subject like adjustments, and the 28, 30, 36 in here is the only kind of stretch. Valuation as is, plus pricing recommendation. Because your lot size is inconsistent across sources, here are two pricing outcomes using the same normalized dollars per square foot, A, B. So the 10,000, so it puts you in the 340, 350 range. Scenario B, if parcel is 15,000, you're, what is the actual?
It's closer to scenario B because there were two lots that were merged. So it's like 0.38 acres.
Okay. Great. What this means versus your current ask, your public marketing shows asking around mid 600s on a land basis that reads overpriced relative to nearby dev site land comps, unless the parcel is larger than, which you just indicated, maybe incrementally a little bit larger. You have meaningful entitlement work completed, approved site, and is this in play or not?
That is correct. It's also been approved, the rezoning has been approved for mixed use, which I did see part of the feedback previously was in line. It's interesting because the property is located in an area where definitely gentrification is taking place. For example, the block that it is located on, gentrification has not hit that particular street. However, a street adjacent to it or across the next street over, there's the gentrification going on. So it's just real interesting in pricing it.
Is it in an opportunity zone?
Yes, it is. It's also within walking distance of the Beltline, which is a huge benefit in this particular area. And it's also directly across the street from a major, let's see, facility where there's a lot of, it's like a co-working hub, a meetup place. There are a lot of professional gatherings that are taking place there. So it's just in a unique, sweet little spot.
Yeah, let's see if we can play that. So you see, adding more. So I was telling people earlier that the number one thing that people can take away from me who are really learning how to embrace the use of this is to not be a sniper. I often will share that we're educated, we're trained to go right to a specific point, or our experience and past successes indicate if I follow the same path, this is the only way to get to a destination. And we end up pruning off and putting blinders on to other opportunities. But here today, we're on this call and we're sitting on a tool that has access to all of the information of the world, literally sitting inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
This particular tool has refined it to focus on the context, commercial real estate, and the sentiment of the roles that you're in, and has all the best practices in it. And there's not one of us on this call that knows everything. We just don't. We can't. There's not enough time. There's not enough experiences that we can have to possibly get it all. And so being able to take a step back and say, okay, wow, I have a tool like this. Let me see what happens if I don't put scope on it yet. And so let's ask the questions and see the answers coming back and then refine down. And what I'm finding over and over, and I think everybody is because it does have the experience of the world and it is bringing back, here are the optimal ways to approach and attack, creating the marketing plan, the prospecting, and the other in ways that are leveling us up, making us better, more effective, and shortening the cycle time of closing these deals, because you're going to find the right people, the right fit and function. And that's what we kind of went through. And then you saw, there's some new information. And I could have gone right to the top and edited it back into the top, but I wanted you to see now what happens when I edit in after I had done all that work. And a minute and 56 seconds later, Fairfax changed the underwriting a lot. Entitled mixed use approved 0.38 acres, opportunity zone, walkable to Beltline, Southside Trail, directly tied to Pittsburgh Yards activity. Below is the updated comp normalization, valuation, and marketing and buyer prospect ranking. Buyer position, what you're actually selling now. You're not selling land, you're selling a shovel-ready, entitled mixed-use play in the Beltline Southside Trail, Pittsburgh Yards gravity well, which is exactly where Atlanta Beltline is pushing major mixed-use affordable commercial outcomes. 356 University. Immediate adjacency tailwinds. ABI owns the 13.7 acre 356 University site and is actively moving it toward mixed use outcomes. Pittsburgh Yards is literally a co-working business hub next door in the ecosystem and is publicly framing the 356 University vision around mixed use commercial space near Pittsburgh Yards. Highest and best use, revised conclusion, with entitlements completed, HBU is excuse me, basically the approved plan that produces the highest land residual. As approved, mixed use with activated ground floor and residential or creative office above. 2 most marketable buyer lenses, 4.38. Multifamily over retail. Ground floor, 2,000, 6,000, neighborhood retail, cafe services. Upper floor, small, multifamily stack or micro loft style. I like that. I've seen that a lot recently, and that is pretty cool. Retail and flex office, co-working adjacency play. Ground floor, boom, upper small. Okay, why this is maximally productive? Beltline adjacency is a rent absorption driver, and the neighborhood is already being curated for mixed use. Commercial opportunities, comp set, plus normalization land value adjustments for entitlements, bookend comps, 566, 900K. Your corridor market signal, the same address has been marketed around 689 for a smaller lot configuration. And that's where you said you actually combine the 2 pieces. So moving up, ABI acquisition nearby, 13.7 acres, 13.3 million or 971, large tract price, small corner entitled. Here's the normalization application. Completed, and it adds 20 to 50% to raw land value, sometimes more, because it de-risks time, carry, and zoning uncertainty. Given your new facts, your value should be underwritten as entitled MU, not vacant lot.
Gotcha.
So, and then valuation, updated pricing opinion as approved, size 16,553 as approved, land value range, a reasonable entitled 40 to 60. That's a meaningful move on your, and defendable, rational position of value that lines up with nearby comps. So that's very strong positioning. Value indication 745 to 995. Pricing recommendation, what I do to reposition and move it, pick your strategy. Get it sold, reposition, listed 899. Goal, create urgency and widen buyer pool. Local MU developers. Test the top while still credible. List 949. Add call for offers in 21 to 30 days with full due diligence package, entitlement docs at bang, bang, bang. You could use our new deal room and set this up and run a possible auction. I would not go north of 999 unless your improved entitlement clearly supports unusually strong density, or you have additional assemblage control. Opportunity zone, how to weaponize it in marketing without over promising. You could market OZ legitimately like this. Capital gains could be deferred, you know the messaging there. Marketing package, copy and angles that actually convert. All day long, you could put this out and generate strong social media, a series of strong social media posts on a number of tracks. Your prospect list ranked and prioritized with why, highest probability best fit. Developers chasing ABI, Southside Trail momentum. Pittsburgh Yards, okay, we go through that. Cul-de-sac, very strong hit. Carter, Columbia Ventures, New City Properties, Jamestown, why? Beltline agency is core to their model, though they may prefer larger scale. Capital driven, here's some more. And prioritize your order, your actual outreach sequence, bottom line, reposition. I'm going to scroll forward just a little bit here.
Okay. Now, are you able to send that to me?
You bet. Put this prospect list into a matrix, add contact names. So put the prospect list into a matrix with contact name, email, phone number where available for reaching the company, identify the contact that is most likely handling inquiries, reference their LinkedIn profiles, reference news sources, announcements related to developers moving or coming into that area, and rank from highest to lowest.
Okay.
Now, what you saw, I wasn't trying to be an English lit major when I was putting out this narrative. I'm trying to teach you can talk to this. And it's smart enough to extract the objective out of that communication. And you can see that as it's going through its analysis here. So I'm trying to teach you, get comfortable. If I'm willing to sit and expose myself to raw, react and prompt communication, you could do this in the privacy of your office. Get used to talking to our chats.
Okay.
You will find it's extremely efficient. And yeah, I always try to teach my teams here, think, what's the situation? What is the target? And I need you to give me the plan, computer, right? So here's my situation. Here's what I'm trying to achieve or get to, and get me there. The other thing that I always do is I keep fresh in mind all the time: who, what, why, where, when, how. Because those are the normal words of interrogation. So you're interrogating the system. So what am I trying to do? For what purpose or why? How can I do it?
Okay.
When can I do? Yeah, those are the easiest things to remember. If you just start, yeah, it sounds so colloquial and it's not meant to be, but I'm trying to teach you all how to really approach this to unlock the power of it. And it begins with your ability to interrogate the system to work for you. This is not
Okay.
Google where all of you have been trained. I'm looking for I'm looking for a wallet, and you're going to get back a wallet, right? And
Gotcha.
there's nothing you can do with it. Here, I can search all the data and best practices, and I ask it and generate a marketing plan, a prospect list. I can tell it the form I want it to create for me for usability. I can have this generate a full Argus analysis in an institutional presentation format that's investment committee ready. It's not like Google. So it's just training yourself to forget, to erase your mind of how you used to approach the discovery process. Here, this literally can be your 24/7 coach. And
As you were,
go
I
ahead.
was going to say, as you were speaking, what I believe I heard you say was, with this system, I should approach it, or we all should approach it, as if we're sitting in a room having a conversation.
Yeah.
And then with the feedback, the information that we're receiving during that conversation, we can just, let's say the person is sitting to our left, we can then turn to our right and give instruction to our assistant on what we need them to do
Yeah.
with the
Except
information that was just received from the conversation.
the
Is
only
that
thing
what
I would
you said,
change
Mark?
about that, yeah,
Okay.
you described it perfectly. The only thing I would change about it is say, I don't have to look to my right. I can, the person I'm talking to it's the smartest person in the world. They have all the data, they have all the knowledge, they have all the best practices. And now picture you're sitting in a room. What do we all do when we have a problem that's on our brain that we're trying to solve? We typically go inward and we're talking to ourselves. We're talking through things. Sometimes we get
Yes.
the inertia of, oh, I can't figure this out. I can't figure this out. But now you go, hit the mic. Here's the situation. And you don't have to have we all have insecurities about how good we are or how good we aren't, or what we know, what we don't want. We do our best to mask that from the world as we're professionally trying to move up the chain and figure out ways to succeed. And what I have found is, wow, if I don't bring that to the discussion and I set it aside and I say, okay, I'm an investment sales broker in commercial real estate. I have the opportunity to sell this property. I've never sold a property like this before. I don't even know where to begin, but wow, here it is. Can you generate I want to win the listing on this. Can you generate a listing proposal, a winning listing proposal on this property at this address? So think about, there's no bad question, but you're still, what's the situation? We can describe it, each of us in a different language in terms of describing it, and it's going to capture the sentiment of that and bring back the response that deals with what you're trying to solve for. And the better you get, and the more practice you get with that, which is the next thing I always recommend is download the mobile app, iPhone or Android, whatever you have, or iPad. Download the mobile app and log into your chat GPT. And remember, once you've logged in and you've connected it to our front end, that's all available in the chat GPT mobile. And so you're driving down the street and you get a call from the principal and say, what are we doing with this property? What are you going to, we need to reposition this because we're not getting X, Y, and Z done, or there's been, finally, we just got this approval done. What's that going to do for the pricing? Whatever it is, you're going to be able to put over and put that question into the system and to give me the best approach to this.
Gotcha.
Or you do what I do at the end. If we come back in here, so we took this and now this is where I'm teaching you, put it into the form that's useful for you. You can't do that in Google. So I want this in an immediate form that I can go out and I can prospect. And look, I have phone numbers, the LinkedIn profile. So I'd be on the phone with Ackerman pretty quickly, and here's why, and here's who I'm going to talk to. Columbia Ventures. They're in expansion mode, right? So it's telling you why to call them, and you're going to be able to speak their language right away. They saw that, and it tells you where it got the info from. Mail West End, acquisition, redevelopment, partnership. Yeah, it's pointing right to the people that have active interest in that area. And so instead of doing a blast out to 10 million people and waiting for someone to call you, Monday morning, I'd be on the phone and I'd be dialing this up. I'd get my repositioning documents together.
Right.
You know, my next thing I would do, and I'll just do it instead of saying it, generate an email script and call script for each one of those prospects that are nuanced to them based on their fit function and why. And generate a marketing plan with KPIs, because you're trying to reposition and get the news out. So let's see what it tells us to do.
Okay.
So planning email and call scripts for the 12 prospects. Absolutely. Below are the 12 outreach packages. So I like this because if you didn't have this, you'd probably, well, I can get to this Monday because there's only an hour left in my day, but guess what? We just did it in a minute. Outreach kit, use across all prospects. So you could put this kit together. Your best one-liner, shovel ready, entitled mixed use OZ. So here's your hit. And then for Ackerman Retail, subject options. So if you're sending them an email, shovel ready, do that, or off market style, entitled MU Corner, body high, and you have the name. I'm reaching out because this opportunity fits the same Beltline node curated retail playbook you've executed at Lee and White.
Gotcha.
So what I like about this, it's not generic.
Not at all.
It's just speaking right to them, what they're doing, why it fits with what they're doing, and they can react to that versus trying to figure it out on their own. You just already tied the positioning out. We are marketing an entitled mixed use. Great. Let's go to the next one. Call, and here's the associated call script. So how does it feel to call somebody and you have a purpose for the call that you know is going to already connect versus figure out how do I connect? What should I say to them to open this up where they're going to pay attention? They get a whole bunch of calls. Why are they going to listen to me? And here it's, hey, this is Mark. I'm calling with a shovel ready entitled mixed use OZ site right near Beltline. I thought of you because it's the kind of boom, boom, boom opportunity you've done at here and came over, right? People want to know that you know them and you're trying to help them solve a problem. You're not trying to get them to solve your problem. That's what I love about this.
Yes, and I love that it's very specific and to the point. It's not a lot of fluff, just getting right to the point. I love that. Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to create a link. And copy the link. And I'm going to put it here in the chat for you.
Okay.
And if you can, just click on it and make sure you can open up the link.
All right, one moment.
We are right up on time, Mark, so I don't know how.
Yeah, just give me one more minute to hear that people could open that up. Okay.
I have it. I'm looking at it now. Thank you.
Outstanding. And so was this valuable for everybody today? If you can just, I don't know how, where we go for people to react.
They can chime in, raise their hand, go into the chat, however they'd like to respond and provide any feedback.
Yeah. And then questions. You're going to have a video,
People
Jeff.
video. So just a reminder, everyone, the video library is in the on the YouTube channel. We have a CRE Marketing Hub playlist, so you can go there. These will be loaded up, but you'll see prior sessions as well, and have access to that. We will be building this library also in the CRE Marketing Hub channel, but not today.
Okay. And
Thank you.
Aziz, I just saw that you were in the call. What'd you think? Oh, I think he's muted off, Jeff.
Aziz, let's see, get you. Everyone, he should be able to unmute himself.
Yeah, Aziz, if you're able to unmute yourself, I'm really curious to see that. And Edwin, good to see you.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Good, good. What'd you think?
It's good. It's very good. It's a little bit different when you're talking about somebody else's project because I'm getting to know the project and then simultaneously getting feedback on it. But I'd like to volunteer a project next time, but I will be here next time. It's good.
Perfect. And again, this is for you. And so leverage me as much as you can to help unlock this for you. And yeah, I know sometimes you'll have I always offer if you have a project and you want a one-on-one, it's not like I'm sitting around in tons of capacity, but if you need help with something and you have a little bit of urgency and would like a fast break, yeah, if you reach out to my assistant, if I'm around, I will try to peel off for 10 to 15 minutes to help you get through some of your first projects. It's not always comfortable saying, hey, here's my hand. Let's work on my deal in front of the whole world. Yeah. So you all, again, as long as you understand, I'll do the best I can if I have capacity. I really want to help this get in play for you. And the reason I was trying to ping Aziz is because I know he manages a market center out his way, where sometimes you can bring the other thing I'll consider doing is if you're able to bring together a large enough team to optimize the use of my time, we can do a concentrated for you and your team to help unlock this, which is sometimes more comfortable. But I suspect you're going to find a pretty good community forming here where you're sharing ideas together, and you may also find people that can introduce deals to you. The one thing I didn't get to show you today is a friend of mine who was in the Caymans with me a couple of weeks ago. He comes down, he says, hey, Mark, I've got this portfolio of $50 million worth of properties, and I don't know what to do with them. I'm 75 years old now. And, can you just look at this? And as much as I tell them, in my previous life, I built physician practices in hospitals and surgery centers and a massive physician management. So they know me from back then and was instrumental in helping them build their practices. But I kind of gave it up for Lent back in 1998, but they're all now at the end of their careers and they're exiting their practices. They want advice on selling that. They want to sell their real estate out of it. And as I said, I'm trying to have vacation, and he goes, "Oh, help me out, Mark." And so I brought out the tool and I said, "Okay, give me one of your properties." And so I said, "It's a little bit underwater, Mike. You paid this for it. It's at this now, but here's the strategy for getting that realigned. And if you can refactor that lease, and you can do this, and boom, and you can." Oh, let's look at the next one. And this is the next thing I'm doing. I'm on the phone calling some of you that I have met on these calls. Say, okay, you do triple net, and I've got a friend down here, and I've got a project in Alabama, and it's retail. Are you good? Yeah, okay, go. Oh, you're over here, and you've got 165 acres in Erie, Pennsylvania. Do you know anything about mineral rights? No. Okay, next. Yeah, okay, here, boom, go. And there's a lot I could teach you on how to win portfolio opportunities of representation with what I've been doing with the tool. And the next call like this, I want to hopefully just focus on a use case of showing you how to go win those type of opportunities, because I'm seeing them so much in abundance that and it's the typical agent is approaching someone one at a time on their property when they're needing advisory. They need someone to assess their whole portfolio, come up with a strategy for managing and optimizing that to their life goals. And if you're able to do that, and that's what AI can do for you, and that's what's going to happen in the next 2 years. The separation that's going to occur is going to be fast between the brokers that use and those that don't. And then how do you bring it side by side with you and become that advisor to those owners in the market that can really benefit from active assessment, and you to be recognized as that person who can strategically guide them That's going to be the next call's focus. So everybody, I know it's been a long couple hours, so some of you have stayed with us through this. I appreciate your participation.
Thank you very much for doing this for us. I know I certainly appreciate it and the time that you take to do this for us.
Thank you. To be continued. In case we don't talk before then, everyone have a very blessed Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys. Goodbye.
Merry Christmas, everybody.